I got a call by a boy named Robert back when I used to work for Pizza Hut. Robert said he wanted to have 2 large pepperoni pizzas delivered to him. He gave us his address. It wasn't like anything that we had ever gotten. I mean, we weren't familiar with the address, but we looked it up. And it turned out that the address was like way out there, so to say. Anyhow, I went ahead and delivered the pizzas to him. And it turned out that his house was like miles and miles out into the country. When I got there, the house was like all shabby and run down and abandoned and crumbling and stuff. I knocked on the door and I heard a boy telling me to come in. I went ahead and came in. And when I walked in, the house was like all shabby and abandoned and run down and messed up, and it turned out that Robert was a guy who was sitting on a chair who was like all deformed from all parts of his body. It turned out that not only that, but for some reason Robert had some bites on him, and he had blood all over him, and he was wearing a mask. And from his voice, he sounded like a boy. He told me to put the pizzas on the table. And I did just that, and he had his money on the table. And thus he paid it with cash and change, which was only $15. And he said that was all the money he had. And he just said that he just thought it would have been nice to have a treat of some sort. I couldn't help but to feel so bad for Robert. I wanted to do something more, like give him something more, but I couldn't, because I was just there to just deliver the pizzas, and all I could do was just take his money and just take the pizzas and leave. But before I left, he started to play me a song on his cello. And just so you know that these strings were made of horsehair, and it sounded good, but I still couldn't help but to feel so bad for him, because he lives way out there in the country in a messed up house, and nobody comes over to see him. Only connection he has to the outside world is just a house phone. Nobody comes over to see him. He doesn't get no email. I don't know how he gets water or light into his house, if he even has any, or how he manages to pay for his phone bill. And why was he wearing a mask? I mean, like, was he just that badly deformed? And being so far away from everybody? Like I said, I just couldn't help but to feel so bad for Robert. I mean, it makes me wonder just how he came to be and how he ended up living in a house like that. I mean, but yeah, ever since that time, I've always felt so bad for him, and I've always thought of him. And what I say proves to be true, that no matter how bad you have it, someone else has it worse. So be grateful for what you have and all the other stuff.